In our last video, we went over how to create variables and what we can do and how we can print them out onto the screen by not using quotation marks since they're not text. And you're going to want to make sure you commit and push your code using the source control thing just like we've done in the other videos. That's just a good habit to get into. Whenever you make changes, you're going to want to upload that code. So yeah. Right now, we're going to learn about all of the primitive Java types. That's what we're covering in this video. So first, I want to go over just a little bit of the basics of how computer memory works. So computer memory is stored in ones and zeros. So there can be zeros and ones, and I'm sure you might have already known this. Like inside of a computer, it's ones and zeros. That's all you can have. So each of these ones or zeros, like whether it's a one or zero, it's called a bit or a binary digit. And a byte is 8 of these bits. So you might hear these terms around. That is where they come from. Um, I'm mainly showing you these because they just tend to come up sometimes. So whenever people are talking about memory, they might talk about bytes or say kilobytes, which is 1024 or 1000, depending on, it's kind of confusing, of these bytes. And then a megabyte is 1000 kilobytes, and then a gigabyte is 1000 megabytes, and it goes on for quite a while. There's a lot of them. So a byte is just 8 of these bits. So here are all of the types you have in Java. So the first type is a char. This is for storing characters. It uses up 16 bits or 2 bytes. And this char, I just want to point out, it only stores one character. It doesn't store multiple, just one. It has a minimum of 0 and then a maximum of 65,535. The next type in Java is the byte, and this stores up 8 bits, just like kind of like we set up there. I mean, hence the name. And it goes from -128 to, I think it's actually 127. Because you have to include 0, and so that's the reason why. Because yeah, that's the reason why it's not even. Um, and then short is double this, and you could see right here, it's gone way more than double. It's 32,768, and then same thing with int, it gets way bigger, and then long, this is 9E18 scientific notation. It's basically just a 9 with 18 zeros after it. It's pretty big. Then we have two more types right here. You'll notice I didn't actually say the minimum maximum values. That's because it's a little bit misleading, because basically what these two types are for is they're for storing floating point numbers. So all of these types right here store whole numbers only. So it could be like 1 or 2, but you can't have like 1.5 or 3.14159265358979323 in it. But these values can store something like that. It's more like a close approximation though because of how they store it. Um, so the way these two types work is they store an approximation of the number. So I haven't put the minimum maximum values because they don't store exact numbers like these ones do. They can store some exact numbers, but a lot of times they also just get really close to a number. So that's how these two work. And then the last type we have is called the Boolean. And this only has two possible values, which are true and false. And so that could be very useful if you say want to have a boolean for is the claw open, true or false, whatever it is, whatever it happens to be. So those are all the basic number types in Java.